Good afternoon, welcome, it's Anna here, and today I am here with a small flip through of this little journal that I call Siv. And this is made out of a repurposed book that was published in 1918. It is a mostly naked journal. It has a few decorations, but not much. It's quite a new way for me to make journals. I have a permanent closure with Sarah silk ribbon that goes through the spine and then wraps around the book in knots. On the front cover I have done a little bit of layering here with old envelopes, really old grungy envelopes that were this grungy when I got them. I have inked them a little bit and glued them down, and this is a genuine vintage cabinet card. And down here is a small label. On the back there are also two labels, and those are Tim Holtz. And that's all for the cover, the plain red spine. And let me see if I can zoom you in a little bit without getting you all like this. Sorry for the shaking. So this is Siv. Her end papers are actually vintage paper. Those are from the 18th century, early 18th century, and they have been backed with some paper as well. On the first page here is a this is one of those old, glassine covers that sometimes are on the first page of a book, of an old book, and I have just glued it down here and here to make it into a pocket, and I have fixed it with some faux cellophane tape, and up here is a little tab and a little vintage stamp, and inside it is two things. This little photo, this is a genuine photo that I have taken out of a vintage photo album, and this is an old card from 1923, and those are just tucked in there. That is the original first page of the book. This was a children's book, so it was quite beaten up, and the book was published in 1918. All the papers are ripped. Maybe not all, but most of them are ripped, and they are going outside of the cover, so the cover just holds them together. It is sewn in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and it has 3 signatures, as you see here. And it's filled with all kind of papers, mostly. Many of them are blank. This is tea-dyed, for instance. Here is a page from a book about electricity and magnetism. Here is a bit of a book guts and a vintage stamp. Here's some vintage real ephemera. Some kind of receipt. Some ledger. More of those old book pages from the early 1800s. Some glassine that someone wrote on. And craft paper. All the ephemera in this book is genuine. No printouts, no, except for the Tim Holtz labels back here. Otherwise everything is genuine. And let's see, and I have, where I needed, I have reinforced the creases with the folds with some washi tape. And that is the first signature. This is also from the original book. Second signature, we have more tea-dyed paper, handwritten from an essay book that I got. A school book with essays, lovely handwriting. Some music, of course, and here's a little torn pocket out of a glassine bag that I have stained with alcohol ink. And inside it is this playing card. And on the back I have put white gesso, and then I put a 1918 calendar, because this is a book published in 1918, and there is a small, I did a little stamping down there as well. Here's another glycine bag, genuine old, and inside it is this card. So we're getting a subscription of something. And I will put it back. And this glycine bag is hinged to a vintage envelope. More pages from the original text block, lined paper. This is from a 1900 novella in German. Here is more of the book guts. I have layered it with some of that same envelope that is on the front, and this is a small tuck spot. You can actually tuck something in here if you want. And that's a genuine vintage photo. Here I have clipped another vintage photo with a Tim Holtz clip. And here's the envelope that is hinged to the glycine bag, and that's also a pocket. You can journal on it as well. And just the back of those pages. Love that grungy tea-dyed paper. And maybe I think it's coffee dyed, by the way. So we're going into the last signature, and here is another page from the original text block. This is a small glycine envelope, and inside it is another genuine vintage photo of a lovely lady that was taken out of a photo album. This page is extended with some postal stamp receipt thing, piece of it that I received ripped like this, and it's from Budapest, 1971. There's some recipes for you. Tea-dyed paper with some pattern on. Here's more genuine ephemera. This is German from the 1940s. And this is also German. And here's the rest of the book guts with some layering and a Swedish stamp. I love that they kind of make some tabs for the different signatures. More ledger, some wrapping paper. And here I have glued down a piece of a very old book page. I believe this is from the 1700s, actually. And on top of it, I have clipped down this little photo of a lady and her daughter, I presume. And on the back, this is a vintage French calendar that I also just clipped in. This is a piece of old German-Swedish dictionary from 1905. All kind of different papers here. Someone has done their homework in this German school book. And more of that 1940s German ephemera. More recipes. And we have reached the back of the book. This is a receipt. I glued this in. When you pay, back in the days before you had internet banking, you went to the post office to pay your bills, and then they gave you a receipt, and it looked like this. They filled in how much you paid, and who did it, and they had a number in a ledger, and then they cross checked that to this number, and then they stamped it. And I've got lots of these now. I found them, so I thought that would look cool. And this is the back of the book. So that is Siv. She is small. I forgot to measure her. How about I do that? Get out my ruler. she is 4 3/4 by a little 6.5, and the spine is 1/2 inch. So that little one I have been working on for a bit. I showed you a bit before as well in my craft with me's. She is now done, and she will be available in my Etsy store in the beginning of April. She will be priced a bit cheaper because she's very small and doesn't have as much things in her as I usually put in my books. But she is quite gorgeous if you ask me. I love the grunginess of her, and this Sarah silk is also nice and grungy. So I wanted to share another thing with you. Let me just zoom you out again. Don't get nauseous. So I went looking in my stash, and then I found a box of unfinished objects, and there I found this one. Looks quite plain and boring as it is. It's old. This is an kind of a small magazine that is called Idun's Hjälpreda, Swedish, and it was published in 1901, and I have the magazine and I use it in all my collaging because it's very brittle pages. I love the end papers though, they are absolutely lovely. I think I have used my the fly leaves in collaging as well, because I recognize this. Anyway, this is going to be a similar journal to Siv. In the stash I found I had started picking out some signatures. This is also going to be a 3 signature one, but I'm going to go through this and see if I can. Look, this is the March magazine, 1901, and all of them have this beautiful headers and things. But I'm going to go through it and change out some of the papers. I had chosen some end papers that I wanted to put in that I'm not sure that I'm going to use. I might actually leave this as is. Maybe I will erase the numbers. Someone did some calculating over there. Anyway, so that's gonna go in. Then on the front, I think I'm gonna do kind of the same as here. I have found this lovely lady among my cabinet cards. I have a huge collection. Love her hairdo. That is probably before 1901, but yeah, she has a big cross around the neck, some rings and things. And this book will obviously be called Idun, and I will try to make her almost a naked journal as well, in the same style as this one. And that was all I wanted to show you today. This was very short and sweet, but as I said, Siv will be available in my Etsy store shortly, and this one I will start working on now. And I will hope you enjoyed this video, short and sweet. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below what you think of this new style of small journals that I'm currently working on. Do you want more of them? Do you want me to make more of my big journals? I'm kind of in the mood for a big one soon. I just want to finish this one up. And also my experiment journal. I have those papers in the paper press, so I am going to sew in the signatures tonight, if nothing else happens. So that's it for today. If you haven't subscribed already, I would be very happy if you did. I try to publish content a couple of times a week. Do flip throughs, craft with me's, thrift hauls, and other kind of things. And on Wednesdays I do use it or lose it, where I try to use up my stash or get rid of it because I have too much stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.